Thank you for taking a look at this video. This is the Willis RD1700H Radial Drill, and this is the way it would arrive at your facility. It is packaged pretty well, but it's also very tight. You want to be very careful when removing the crate so as not to damage any of the motors or any of the cabling or the electric box or the hydraulic units, which are hanging out on the end there. Now here's the machine after the crate has been removed and the plastic bag around the machine has been removed. There are a number of things to pay attention to. There are some instructions right here related to unclamping the column a little bit, which is, once you read that, you'll be able to tell. The machines come standard with one box table. This is the box table that is standard. This is just an extra box table that we have for our stock. You can see the arm is secured to the table for shipping. And I'd recommend leaving that on there until the machine is at its final resting place. I'd also recommend leaving the rust preventive and the plastic on the machine until it's at its final resting place. You can see here, this is where your power hooks into, and there are some instructions on there. You also can see that the arm raising motor is shipped off of the machine. The wires are clearly marked, and you match that up with the terminals on the motor itself. The motor is shipped separately in that box right there. Additionally, on the bottom of the machine, you will see leveling bolts and holes for anchor screws. You have 3 on each side, 3 on the front, 3 on the back. These are the leveling pads right here. You will need to get your own anchor bolts, and you will need to prepare your floor with the 6 holes and put the anchor bolts in and fill those in with concrete or similar type material. This style machine, whether it's ours or anybody else's, it is possible, if the machine gets in a certain configuration, that it actually could tip over, which would not be good for anybody. So these machines do need to be anchored to the floor. And there's the standard toolbox, which comes with some tools and some other things we'll look at here in a second. All right, we got the toolbox open here. This is the operator and parts manual, which is in there. This is some additional instructions for a little extra oiler that goes up on the drill head, and we'll show that where it's installed here in a little bit. Your toolbox also has a drill drift right here, a couple of screwdrivers, Allen wrenches, crescent wrench, and a little oiler. In addition, you also have a little one-shot oiler here, which provides lubrication to the elevating the elevating lead screw, and also supplies some oil to the surface between the column and the arm. Just a little basic information on the hydraulic clamping system. These 2 pistons here, those are what clamps the arm to the column, and they automatically engage and disengage when the joystick over here is raised up and down. When you raise it up, and we'll show this live in a little bit, when you raise it up, it's going to unclamp the arm and then go up, and then it'll lock again when you take it back to neutral, and then down it'll unclamp until you stop it, and then it'll reclamp. That does that automatically. And these are the controls for the column rotation, or the arm rotation on the column, and also to lock the head in place. That right there is what locks the column from rotating. And we'll go around to the back here, and that's a little piston that locks the head on the arm. These machines do come with oil already in the gearboxes, but it's always a good idea to double check. The fill is up on top of the drill head here, but that should be about halfway up the sight glass. And obviously that's the drain plug. The gearbox for the elevating worm gear and worm screw, same thing. You fill it up on top and it should be about halfway up the sight glass. And then that's the bottom plug is for draining. The hydraulic system does come loaded already, but you may want to double check that if you want. You'll have to get inside of the boxes here to double check the hydraulics, but it does come already filled with oil, and you will have to charge the sump, which is in the base of the machine, with coolant if you use flood coolant. Now we're going to continue on with the startup of the RD1700H. We're going to pretend like this machine is in its final resting spot on its leveling pads anchored to the floor. Some of the next things you'll need to do, you'll need to remove the brace that was holding the arm up, which we've already done that. You'll also need to remove all the cosmoline on the ways. We did a little section there and also a little section on the column. Kerosene is pretty good for breaking that down. We also use WD-40 and a rag. It's not very exciting, but it's pretty important that you get all that off. Additionally, a very important thing is you'll need to mount the arm raising motor, and in that box comes with the 4 mounting bolts and also that little black L piece. And it's very important, as you can see here, that L piece has to line up directly with the limit switch, which is right here. That's for an over travel situation, so you don't run the arm off the top of the column. So you'll probably need to leave that loose until you get everything else cleaned up, done, and then line that up firmly, that last bolt, when you can run the head up and make sure it's going to hit that limit switch. Additionally, another very important thing that has to be done, you'll see these bolts right here. These are an extra tight locking position, which is set up like that for the shipping before operating the machine, but after you've already got everything secured to the floor and it's in its final home, you'll want to back that black line back to that line with the manual wrench on both of those. And additionally, earlier we spoke about this little extra oiler, which is in the toolbox. Depending on the age of the machine, their picture that it comes with it is not quite accurate. They've had a small change in the electrical box design. And now this oiler just screws in right there. After having done all of that, you'll need to get the power hooked up to the machine. We just have it done kind of temporarily here, but you want to make sure to do that with an authorized electrician. And once that's done, then you got to figure out if the machine is phased correctly. What we recommend for this, you'll need to have a second person help you out. But once the machine is wired up and the power is run to the machine, you take the E-stop out, push that. All right, now we do have power. Now you can hear the hydraulic system checking itself. And to check rotation, you'll need to have somebody back looking at the coolant pump while somebody else here is turning it on and off. And you want to make sure that that is turning in the right direction. If that is turning in the right direction, you phase the machine correctly. If not, you'll need to change a few wires on your incoming and then check again with the coolant. And when the coolant is going in the right direction, all your other motors will be going in the right direction. And now that we've determined the coolant pump is running in the right direction, next thing would be to double check the arm raising to make sure it's going up when you have it go up. And you can see here, we've loosened those nuts, or those bolts, to line up those black lines. For reference, that is a 30 millimeter head of that bolt. Now we're going to double check the arm raising. We'll do it quick just to make sure. And we're in good shape. And you can also hear the hydraulics locking and unlocking. Now we're going to go through the other controllers. We'll stay with the hydraulic system. I guess we'll start at the bottom. This is going to be the lock and unlock for the head on the arm. That'll be the unlock. And then lock. And this will be for the rotation of the arm on the column. We'll lock that back in place. We saw the coolant pump earlier. This switch right here, that actually energizes a little light down here. So we'll turn that on. And that work light lights up. Here you have a 2-speed spindle motor. This gets going in low speed. And to get it going in forward. And then reverse. And then we'll go up to high speed. These are your gear ranges, your gear levers for the spindle speeds. And as you can hear, you have 6 different gear ranges on high speed and low speed, which gives you your 12 distinct spindle speeds. And this gives you a combination of levers and then low speed or high speed. Your feed rate, you have 6 different feed rates. 1, 2, 3, and then this position here moves into 2 different positions, so 3 times 2, and you have 6 different feed rates. We hope this video has been helpful for you, learning some more information on the Willis RD1700H. As always, we welcome and encourage telephone calls, emails if you have any questions or comments on starting up your new machine.